And we're live, starting just a bit earlier today. No worries if you are not joining from the first few minutes, it's okay. I was just working on something cool, wanted to showcase. Also, before we're starting officially our AMA, PPC AMA sessions. So that's totally fine. So hey everyone, how is it going? I'm Noemi, co-founder of ScaleWave, and today I just wanted to showcase quickly what I've been working on for the past 30 minutes or so. It's really cool. And this is basically just an intro to what is about to happen. Officially, we're going to start still in the next 5 minutes. So we're good. Going to bring to the screen. I'm doing this for the first time, so bear with me. I'm going to bring to the screen something cool that I've been working on. Share screen. All right. Window. Found it. Okay, cool. Let's see how it works. Okay. It works better than expected. Cool. Oh, and this is really cool. I never done the screen share via the app, the Instagram app. It's also on that end. You can see, guys. All right, so let me walk you through what you see. Basically, I was shopping on Amazon, and this is one of the products that I was considering purchasing, and this is a convertible sleeper sofa bed. And I am, funnily enough, even if I'm advertising on Amazon, I'm still looking at it as a shopper would, right? So I'm looking at this product, seeing what is going on, what are the, how it works, and then I also checked out the video. But of course, I'm also curious because this price range, although it's not super expensive, I was thinking, do they have any other models that I might be considering? So naturally, I scroll down on the page, and then here it says, based on your recent views, and then they showcased me a lot of very similar items. And that is something cool that I noticed. For example, this one. This is way higher in price than whatever I was checking out, but also it has a limited time deal, so it's going to make me click. And then also what it has some elements that I was like, I'm not sure why I'm clicking on this one, but besides the, the red badge, I'm going to click on this one. And let me show you why did I actually click on it. So without even realizing, right now when I am streaming this live, it's 2 days to Christmas. And look at that. So the main image has elements, seasonal elements. It has a Christmas tree in the background. Also, it has some Christmas decorations and the reindeer, and also this sock there, And first off, I did not even realize why I clicked on it, but I did. And I tried to understand it. And the super cool thing about this is that we also have a tool called Snappo that it's going to allow you to create this type of images super, super quickly. And let me show you what I came up with. So this is the regular normal image. The way how I did that is I just logged into Snappo Generate. I went here to style product, and then I uploaded the product. So in this case, I'm going to do it again here with you on the screen until we officially are going to start. Let me go quickly to downloads. Let me find the product. So I uploaded the main image. Then I set my images to 4 images. So at a time, 4 images are going to be generated. And what I said, Snappo, is create a Christmassy back or add Christmassy elements to this picture. And that's all what I did. I also made sure that double checked for typos, because we don't want to have typos. And then I created these. So it's really, really cool. I'm going to show you also what is the previous outcome that I recorded a tutorial for it, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Because even if I, an advertiser, am falling for these, enhancers, how would our ideal customer not fall for it? So this is our original picture. And look at that. So how cool is that, with those very cool elements, Christmassy elements. Whoever would consider this product is highly likely, especially now because it's the season, that they would click within that. Even if technically the sofa would not arrive until, or it would arrive after Christmas. So again, here it is, the original, and here what I'm seeing actually Snappo created a duplicate of it, which is not a big deal. Now here it took the image as it's supposed to. But look at that, so original again, and then our image. Amazing, super, super cool. And what I would like you to do, by the way, you can head over to Snappo, check out the free plan. You can create images instantly with this one. I'm so curious to see on your end, if you guys are advertising, what is your outcome when it comes to click-through rate? Because we've also tested for a few brands that we're running ads for, and the click-through rate is just over the roof because we also applied a seasonal element. And again, these are not the only people who are doing that. So if you're going to click some more, I also found one more brand that is doing that, added some Christmas element, these ones as well. So they also had the limited time deal, which is great because it's attracting, your eyes to click on it. And then also it has the Christmassy elements. Look at that, see? And if you take a look, this is 2 different brands. So it's not the same brand, which is a great call out for you because probably what they said, hey, these guys are using the limited deal strategy plus the Christmas image. I'm going to try it also for mine. And apparently it worked. So yeah. And we are officially at 1 o'clock EDT time and about to start. So let me take away my screen sharing and I'm going to start our official meeting when it comes down to our Amazon PPC AMA. All right, how do I do that? Remove. There you go. It was easier than expected. Hi, and welcome. My name is Noemi. I'm the founder of ScaleWave and also the co-founder of Snappo, the tool that I just showed a few minutes ago. Thank you so much for attending today's session. This session is our Amazon PPC Ask Me Anything, a scale session, and this is a live streaming right now. You're watching me live. What I'm going to do, I'm going to answer all your questions that are Amazon PPC related that you're going to submit in the comment section, and also I'm going to answer questions that were submitted previously. So from people who could not make today's event, they also submitted their questions. I'm going to answer all those questions as well. I'm aiming to answer as quick as possible each question. When it comes down to details, I'm aiming to give as much detail as possible. We're going to prioritize beginner questions first because reason why I'm here with you, 5 years ago when I started my journey on Amazon and I learned Amazon PPC ads, I had the hardest time learning it because there was so much information available, yet I still did not know what to prioritize, how to prioritize, and really, really important, how to think like a strategist rather than someone who's going to apply only tips, tricks, and the latest hack that just came live on Amazon. So in that spirit, I'm going to prioritize beginner questions first, and I'm going to aim to answer them as quick as possible. Keep in mind if you have any business-related question that is not necessarily Amazon PPC question, such as hiring, maybe even firing, SOPs, systems, and so on, feel free to drop them in the chat or in the comment section, depending who's watching. Michael is saying, let's go, hey, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. So what I would like to do is prioritize, first off, beginner questions. Then we can get into deeper, more detailed, more strategy-related questions. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go step by step through all the questions. Whenever there's no question in the chat, right now we are streaming live on 3 different channels, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So if you're not seeing in the chat the question itself, that's the reason why, just letting you know, okay? That doesn't mean that questions are not coming in. And also just be careful when it comes down to question. If I am going to answer another question, but I'm going to miss yours, just feel free to drop again the question, especially if it's Amazon PPC related, because I don't want to miss the question, okay? All right, so we are going to start Let me see. I'm going to bring up everything, what I'm seeing so far here that is Amazon related. So, did I just close something important? Yes. Okay, typical. But here we are. All right, the very first question, it's Amazon PPC related. And it asks, what are some of the best tricks on Amazon that actually work in 2025? Great question, and I love that you put it. What are the best PPC tricks? What I'm seeing the best PPC tricks nowadays, especially in 2025, are the things that are not tricks, that are not tips, that are not shortcuts. And yes, I am just like the other person, like to be as efficient as possible when it comes down to how to solve X to get to, my desired outcome. What I'm seeing so far is that some of the best tricks are the things that make you not think, which I want to make sure that you understand why I'm saying that, is I could give you exactly the step-by-step process on how to create a campaign, what to do, what not to do. What you're going to end up with, especially if you're a beginner, is you're not going to learn to understand. And keep in mind that once that you are, total beginner and you have no clue how to do it, for that step, the tricks are going to work for you because you're going to be able to mimic whatever me with 5 years of strategy, or like Michael at some point we were also discussing on his podcast, newbie Amazon PPC managers or aspire to be managers. What they're going to learn very quickly is that if they learn this one trick, it's going to work. But the thing is that what you don't have yet is the skill of troubleshooting. And the skill of troubleshooting is a muscle. It's something that you are going to need to repeat step by step, all over again, and then learn and be exposed to as much data and as much information as possible. Because that is going to allow you to quickly recognize patterns. And what Amazon PPC is, if this is a trick, I'm going to share it with you as quick as possible to recognize patterns. And then once that you recognize them, what is the next step that you're going to take? Are you going to pause the campaign? Are you going to lower your bids? Are you going to negate those keywords? Are you going to increase your bids? So those are only a few things that based on this trick, let's put it in quote mark, you're going to do it. So that's why I'm saying that would be loving to give you all this exactly how to do it. And on my YouTube channel, I'm actually creating lots of tutorials when it comes down to how to do XYZ. I also want to be more insightful and give you more feedback when it comes down to tips and tricks. What I've seen so far in 5 years of doing ads, dealing with people, is that tricks are going to be only as good as from 1 to 2, you're going to be able to go forward, and then it's going to give you the courage that I've been successful, I can replicate this. When success actually is to be able to replicate whatever you've done without even flinching that it's not going to be successful. So really hope that that insightful answer was something that you were looking for. But this is something that in 2025 work, thinking strategically, thinking 5 steps ahead, it's always going to work for you. And it's the best trick that you can apply. All right, how do you switch an Amazon PPC campaign from auto-targeting to a fixed manual structure? Let me think of it. I'm not quite sure if there's a way for us how to do so from auto-targeting to fixed manual structure. So at this point, there's nothing, to my knowledge, that you could do. If you're creating an Amazon auto campaign, you cannot switch it to a manual campaign. Auto campaigns and manual campaigns, they have different setups. So whenever you would set up any of these, it's going to be only that one. The easiest way for you to switch would be to pause the one that you don't want it to be enabled and then create a new campaign. That is the only way so far that you could do you could do the switch. Let me know if that helped. Next question. Sometimes my ads work, other times not. And I don't know why I don't get impressions at all. Okay, so let me reformulate just a bit the question. So why do Amazon PPC ads sometimes get impressions and other times no impressions at all. Reason for that is going to be, first off, we have to troubleshoot what is causing it. The first most obvious thing that an Amazon advertiser is going to tell you is that you are not bidding high enough. Amazon PPC, it's a bidding system. The one that is bidding highest, that has the most guarantee that their ads are going to be shown or viewable. Now, in this specific scenario, since now I know better and I'm not going to give you only that answer, the second answer that might be is either you lost buy box, which means that your ad is not eligible to have the buy box. That is also something that could cause you not having impressions. Second thing, what we actually noticed, and this is not as much as impression, but placements. Sometimes when you're not indexing for one specific keyword, also that can cause you to not get impressions. So if it comes down to how would you troubleshoot this quickly, first off, are you bidding high enough? And the craziest thing and most secure thing in the same time that you can do here is, let's say that an average bid is $1. What we're doing on our end, we're going to up the bid to $20 and then see, do we show up on the first page? And usually very, very quickly, within seconds, if you're going to open up a new incognito window and you're going to type the exact match keyword that you're supposed to rank for in exact match, keep in mind that only that is when it's going to work, this strategy. So you're going to have a sponsored product exact match keyword. You're going to use that specific keyword in incognito on Amazon, opening up a page, and then with that keyword, check for your product. Now, if your product is not showing up there, the first thing, and if your product is right now, if you're bidding for $20 or even $30, if your product is still not showing up there, your product might still be visible, but on other placements, right? So that is the first thing that we want to check. If we show up on the first page, top of search, that is already an okay sign that, okay, probably the bid is too low, so we would need to bid more aggressively in order to show up on the first page, right? The second thing that could happen is, and this is something, I'm not sure if it's a glitch or something, we actually created several cases with Amazon and still did not got resolution for this. What we noticed is that certain products that we're advertising, even if we organically ranking for it within the first page, if we're going to even highly aggressively bid for it. By aggressive bidding, I mean that our average CPC is around $2 and we're bidding $50 just because we wanted to test this. So even with $50 bid, we got clicks at $60, but was not top of search. And then what we did, we also added a top of search placement modifier, 100%. Still, we are not getting any impressions. So that can be also one of the cases when you are not getting the impressions at the placement that you want to. So once that you understand that, first off, you would rule out, okay, is it a technical issue? If it's not a technical issue, is it something on Amazon end? Usually what we're doing, we're opening up a case and then we're going to let them know exactly step by step what we did and what is our outcome. Really important, especially if you have data. Share a screenshot with them. Reason why I'm saying that is because exactly the moment that we contacted support and we told them that, hey, we are bidding aggressively for this keyword, we're not showing up top of search, but we have like 20 clicks on rest of search and 30 more on product pages, which is not the placements that we want to advertise on. That was a clear data for us to show them that, hey, it's not our bidding strategy. And the first thing that they said, hey, probably your bids are not high enough. So that's why I'm saying that if you want to save yourself a lot of back and forth with support as well, have a clear a screenshot, even I would say highlighted with red, the information that you want to share with them. So that would be our process. Hope that answered your question. Alrighty, so no question. Okay, cool. Next question is, I'm an aspiring Amazon PPC wannabe, love it. What steps should I take to become an Amazon PPC specialist? All right, so question is, what steps should you take to become an Amazon PPC specialist? I'm saying this one from someone's point of view who was totally red-brained before I switched to Amazon PPC. Like I specialized into Amazon PPC. Short background on me, I was a music producer before we started like 5 years ago, learning more about Amazon PPC and so on. And what I'm seeing on my end is, I believe, teachability, curiosity, and being humble are some of the most non-obvious skills or traits that you might need to have in order to actually become a PPC specialist. And what I'm seeing on my end is that you can become a junior Amazon PPC manager, a junior PPC ad manager. What they would do is they would create reports for clients, or they would deal with numbers, they would optimize bids, they would follow SOPs, let's put it that way, so systems and processes that someone else is already put in place. Now for that, the trait that you would need is highly detail oriented, besides the 3 ones that I mentioned, highly detail oriented. And the second one is I think highly detail oriented is going to make it work already. The second one I think is going to be tied into the how teachable you are, because what I've seen on my end, because we previously hired and still hiring people, who are helping on the agency side with Amazon PPC management, so Amazon PPC managers. And what I'm seeing on my end is that the trait that is a must at any level, either you're senior, either you are junior, either you are intermediate, either you are advanced Amazon PPC manager / specialist in this case, is how trainable you are and how quick you are into being corrected. Reason why I'm saying that is most of the junior Amazon PPC specialists that we hired, they were okay to be corrected because they know that, hey, I don't have the skill. This is my boss. I'm going to listen to whatever they say, and I'm going to, because I want this job, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to give my best. Now, when we were switching into more senior or intermediate or senior Amazon PPC managers, what I noticed is that people who had trouble with being corrected, they were way less on our team. So that's why I'm saying that's also a really good trait that most people are not even mentioning or talking about. Okay. So some question from Shahir. Let me know if I'm pronouncing your name right. So you're asking 2 questions. The first question is, let me know what new strategies to rank low-tier product. What do you mean by low-tier product? Can you give an example of what do you mean by low-tier product? I'm not sure what you mean by that. And also your second question is, let me know how we can best use the AI in Amazon PPC. All right, so the question is, first off, the low-tier product, once that you clarify that, if you are referring to low pricing or so on, great. Until you are going to get me some clarity on that, I'm going to answer the second question, which is how to best use AI in Amazon PPC. So the question is, what is the best use right now in Amazon PPC, especially when it comes down to implementing AI? So the first thing, if you are joining the session right away and you're joining from the beginning, I actually walked through a tool that I use. It's called Snapple. It's our own tool, shameless plug. It's something that we created with this in mind. It is for Amazon advertising without that obvious of, this is a bid optimizer, this is a keyword negator, this is whatsoever. So the purpose behind that is that for Amazon PPC, it's going to be very important for us to not only bring traffic to a listing, but to make the listing convert. And higher our chances are to convert if the images that we are generating traffic towards are going to be resonating with your customer, right? So that's something that we've seen on our end that is seemingly it has nothing to do with Amazon PPC, yet it has to do so much. And especially for a brand that we onboarded a month ago or so on, their CPC is super, super high. They're not in the, they are selling both in supplement and also beauty. So two very highly competitive, very high CPC niches. What we noted is that even if we're advertising for highly relevant keywords that are exactly describing our product, our ads are still not converting. And it has nothing to do with the fact that we are not targeting direct targets, which could be obvious, but it has to do that whoever we are competing against, even if we are competitively priced and even if we are an FBA fulfillment, fulfilled by Amazon, it's still, we still don't have competitive advantage. So what we did on our end, we were creating, again, with this Snapple, you can check it out, Snapple AI. We were creating with this tool some images, and then we A/B tested via PickFu. So PickFu is a platform that is going to help you with split testing, and we A/B tested the two images. The image that we have right now, and then also an improved image that is basically, let's say it's a protein shake. Now, it's only a package of the protein shake and says nothing about the flavor. It says like it's the protein shake, like there's no glass there that is going to kind of like give you an idea that, hey, this is the color of the product. So what we did, we took the main image, that is basically the product, and then next to it, we also added some cocoa beans and also glass that is see-through, and you can see the dark brown color of the actual product, right? So after we did that, then we ran a PickFu test, and it was only just for a small number of respondents that were exactly our audience, because what we wanted to prove with this one, and it was 15 people, something like that. You can go up to like higher numbers, but even with 15 people, it was a landslide. Out of those 15 people, only one was the one that would have bought the product while looking for that highly specific keyword for the main image that contained nothing. And then the rest 14 people would have chose in a landslide the other product, the other main image, which was with the product and with also the cocoa beans next to it, and also the tall glass of, the protein shake, how it actually looks, which can make you think and can make you understand that this is highly relevant to PPC. So that's how we see AI being implemented, improving imagery. It's something that right now AI is really, really good at. Now, of course, you can use AI for any different task that you have. Right now, this is just really top of mind right now, because I literally started today's live session with showcasing the example of what we did and like how crazy that can be, that you can change just in a few seconds, just like that, the click-through rate for a product. Let me know if that answers your question. Okay, so low tier, low price product. Thank you for clarifying. Cool. So when it comes to low price products, it's going to be very important. Is it so let me just again say your question, because these are going to be cut in shorter episodes. The question is, when it comes down to new strategies for low tier products, let me know what you think when it comes down to Amazon PPC. So my answer to that question is, it really depends on the product itself. Is it a consumable item, or is it an item that is, you buy it once and that's it? Because if you have a consumable item, then you can argue that it might make sense for you to get new market share and get new customers by even ranking for keywords that might be too expensive for you. But on the long run, especially with sponsor brand ads, you can see the new to brand, how many people were generated from the first time that you showcased your product, and they were basically just hooked by the product and they become longer time customers. So that is the first thing. When it comes down to lower tier product, the second thing that I can think of a strategy is, look if you have a way how to create from that one item a 2-pack, 3-pack, 5-pack. So either add packs, either add color variations, anyhow add something maybe based on reviews from people, add something to it that can bring up the average order value of the product itself. And what you can do in that case, you could even advertise the maybe the 3-pack. Let's say the 3-pack it's $30 and the 1-packs it's $15, right? So it's no-brainer. Someone it's going to be maybe considering using the 3-pack because it's so close in price, right? Maybe they are thinking that, hey, if I'm buying this product, it's going to last longer and so on. It makes sense for me. Why should I click on the product and buy it? So those are the two strategies that right now are coming to me. Really, it's up to you to decide. If this is a consumable product, then I would apply the first strategy. And also I could apply the second strategy of, even if it's a consumable product, can I add multiple packs? That is something that can bring up average order value. And once that you've been applying that, you can also advertise the more expensive product, because there you have a higher cushion when it comes down to advertising, especially if your CPC costs are higher. Let me know if that answers your question. Okay, next question. Someone was watching my Amazon, my YouTube video, and they're asking, how do I know if my Amazon PPCs are actually working? Shout out for the video. Thank you so much. Appreciate you watching the video. So the easiest way for you to figure out if your ads are working or not, you would go through this checklist of which are the things that could make your ads work and which not. So the way how we like to structure this, that could be a technical setup for it, and that it could be something that it does not make the ad work or deliver no matter what you're doing. And there can be the following. Either you have no inventory, theoretically, even if you have no inventory, your ads might be showing up sporadically, but that could be one of the things. The second thing, it can be if you are your buy box is lost. That's something that we noticed on our end. Once that we did not had the buy box, the product did not show up, and don't ask me how we found it out. Obviously, we lost the buy box, and we did not saw that there's no spend, and we were like, what is going on? Because everything on the ad side it's working. We increased the bids and we did all that steps, and no visibility. So that would be the second thing that we would be checking. Check if your ads are delivering based on do you still have the buy box or not. Now, if you already confirmed that you already have inventory for the product, your ads already have the buy box, the third thing that can be is specifically the technical setup. So either you have set up your ads in such a way that you don't get any visibility, and that can be because of your bids. So either the bids are too low and that's why you cannot see it. Another option is that you're really not indexing for specific keywords, and Amazon is not going to show your ad. In that case, if you already rolled out the very first things that I mentioned, in that case, you can just open up a case with Amazon, let them know that, hey, look, I'm bidding $5. My average bid is $1. I'm still not showing up neither on top of search, neither on product placement. So that could be also something that you could do. And basically what you're doing is just figure out, go through this checklist and figure out what is the exact thing that is not letting your ads to be delivered. The next thing that is not very obvious but could cause this issue is that simply your campaign is running but your ad groups are paused. Either your keywords are paused too. So that can also happen, and that can be just a simple, mistake. Someone just turned off the ad and the campaign is still running. So in that case, technically your ads are still not running just because you paused the keyword itself, although the campaign is running. What are the cases? One more case it can be, especially if you are creating sponsor product video ads and sponsor brand ads. So whichever ad type would allow you to add creatives, the ads might can be showing that it's delivering, but on the ad group level, it could be like incomplete or rejected. That is also a reason why your ads might not be delivering. Let me think what other use cases or what other situation we face where ads did not deliver on our end. The product got suspended. This is like one obvious way how to notice that your ads are not delivering. And the way how you would check on that one is you would open up the campaign, then the ad group, and then see targeting, and then click on targeting, and then you will see what are you advertising, basically the products that you're advertising, and there it's going to say it's going to give you some type of error. Usually those errors are in red, so let me know if this answered the question. But those would be the very first things that I would go through first in order to figure out what is causing the ads not to deliver. Let me know if that helped. You know what? I'm going to take a sip of chocolate. Good. All right. Next question. I'm selling merch by Amazon products. What's different about running ads there versus private label products? There's not necessarily a difference when it comes down to these products, when it comes down to the structure, how you would build them up. Something that we've seen on our end when it comes down to merch by Amazon. And here a very specific example, we had a brand who were doing specific designs. So either seasonal designs, either, something happened like culturally and they created the designs for their t-shirts. What we've seen on our end for them, what worked really well is creating broad modified campaigns with keywords that were highly relevant to their product. For example, if now we're celebrating in 2 days Christmas, the moment that I'm recording this, it was Christmas tea or like Christmas and then TEE, so TEE, like t-shirt, if they were selling a t-shirt, or Christmas gift, or Merry Christmas, or things like that. And those were added in broad modified match. So before the keyword itself, you would add a plus sign and then right after the keyword. That is something that we've seen successfully work for merch by Amazon products that is usually not working as well for products where you have very high search volume keywords that are longer tail. Let me know if that helped, but that's something that worked in our case. Again, strategy is going to be the same. You're going to still use the same ad time, sponsor products mainly. And you can use also sponsor brands and so on. But when it comes down to the ad setup itself, that is the only thing that was different from whatever we are doing for private label brands where we have longer tail keywords. I'm looking to learn tools, Amazon PPC tools, which are the tools that made you or your Amazon advertising career easier, and which are the ones that are a waste of time? This is a great question, and especially because when it comes down to tools, now I do have lots of people in my circle who created their own tools, who created their own analytics dashboard, who created a software around Amazon PPC. What I've noticed is if I'm going to zoom out for clarity is that most of the time it's not as much as the tool, as much as whatever you're currently doing that you already know how to do, but could help improve your efficiency. Those are the type of tools that I'm seeing that we are still using today since when we started beginning selling on Amazon and then transitioning into advertising for other brands on Amazon. One of those tools is Helium 10. Helium 10 is a tool that is widely known. There's a lot of content around it, And it's something that is, I would not say necessarily that is very user-friendly or easy to learn, but because there's so much content about how to use it, I believe it became one of those tools that everyone on the Amazon space is going to endorse for some reason. So if I'm thinking back, the tools that we're currently using are really the ones that are going to speed up our process in whatever we're already doing. Keyword research is one of them. So Helium 10, it's helping us with keyword research. Keyword tracking is the second thing that we are using Helium 10 for. Cerebro, finding new keywords, either for product launches, either finding products on which we can advertise for. So I'm just looking back at what are our systems that we made them standard, and then how did we implemented a tool to make our systems that are already efficient even more efficient. Those are the tools that I would recommend. And here it's really up to you. It's not as much as a recommendation of a tool, but sit down and just write down, okay, for Amazon PPC optimization, how much time do I invest? Say you're investing 15 hours per week only for optimization. Okay, write it down. Amazon PPC strategy to strategize for an account. How much time do I invest? And when it comes down to strategy, probably you're just creating the strategy and then the rest is implementation. So it might be 2 hours the strategy creation. And you're just writing down other things. Keyword negation, how much time do I invest? Creating new campaigns, how much time do I invest? Looking at competitors, how much time do I invest? Tracking keywords, how much time do I invest? And then you're going to create yourself a very, very personalized list of things that actually are helpful for you if you're going to find a tool to replace those things. Really important when it comes down to this. To date, we did not found any tool that can strategize for you. So strategy is still something that we are doing, and we are not giving strategy to any tools. When it comes down to optimization, there are certain tools that are good, but we created an in-house system via bulk files optimization that is working really well for us. So instead of using a tool, we decided to automate it and create automation around it based on whatever we built. Reporting. If reporting is important for you, or do you do it for a client, how much time does it take, and is the data actually useful? So for that as well, we are still manually doing all the reports because we are personalizing them. We are writing all the, CPC, tacos, impressions, and so on and so forth. So all those tools, metrics that we are tracking internally that are important for us, those are still going to be added there. But when it comes down to, look, this is the things that I worked on when it comes down to strategy. These are the new campaigns that I created. These are the tests that I ran for the week. Those are things that we cannot really give to a tool. Technically, to write it for us. So what we did on that end is that we're writing everything down, and then we optimized it with ChatGPT, right? So you can be as concise as you can, especially if you have the skills of being super concise when it comes down to reporting and so on, while being meaningful too. But most people are not super concise. They are going to be wordy. They are going to be maybe not giving the exact information that the client needed. So in that case, what we do, we are actually using ChatGPT, which again, it's a software that it has nothing to do with Amazon PPC yet. It's going to help our PPC reporting and weekly accountability checks in way more helpful and way more efficient. So ChatGPT became one of the reporting tools in this case. So that's why I'm saying really sit down and take time on which are the things that are really important for you, that make sense, and then optimize that either with a tool, either with automation. Okay, great. I asked for beginner questions. I'm receiving beginner questions. Throw them my way. I love them. So the next question is, please break down how Amazon PPC really works in a simple, beginner-friendly way. I just barely started out. It's super confusing. There's so many people to learn from. What to prioritize? Perfect question. Couldn't have asked a better question. So let me break down what Amazon PPC is and which are the things that you should be prioritizing, especially if you're doing this on your own and learning by your own. Amazon PPC, basically, it is a platform that is going to allow you to bring the eyeballs that are already on Amazon directly to your product. Whenever someone is looking for the one specific product, let's say my product is a water bottle or purified water, water bottle or purified, wait, what could be this a good one? But because purified water, I believe is a brand. No, it's purified water, the keyword. So for example, whenever I would look up purified water on Amazon, what you're going to do with Amazon PPC, Amazon pay-per-click advertising is whoever is going to look up this product and look for purified water to find your product. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what it is. That is the basic that you must know. When it comes down to things to prioritize, if you're learning just now PPC and want to understand exactly how it works, first thing I would do is find someone that you like their way of explaining things that makes you quickly get whatever they're saying. So find that person while probably you're going to watch 10 videos, 15 videos on, like learn Amazon PPC from beginner to start or something like that. And probably someone's content who was like good at SEO is going to come up, and then you're going to watch their videos. So I'm just explaining to you how the process is going to go probably on YouTube. All right, the one that you found, at least from those 15 videos, the one person that you really enjoyed listening to, it's clear, it's concise, it's going to help you think rather than just follow 1, 2, 3, steps 1 to 3. That is the person that you should be following for the next 3 to 6 months and learn everything what they have to offer when it comes down to Amazon PPC knowledge. Reason why I'm saying you this is because what I know that my mistakes on Amazon PPC was that while it was great that I was looking up so much content at the same time and I was trying to learn so many things, what happened is that I learned from here and from there all the topics, but I did not learn basics. I did not learn the fundamentals. I did not understand why am I creating right now sponsored product ads. I was learning on these are the 10 ranking campaigns that are going to guarantee you sales, So, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to learn that and I'm going to replicate that and I'm replicating it successfully and I do have success with it. But when things broke, I didn't know how to solve them and huge panic because you're dealing with money, right? It's not only your emotions if you're running ads for your own product, but in my case, it was like I am dealing with someone else's money. I have to be accountable and responsible, for whatever I'm doing to do it at my best knowledge, So I think that is the first thing. Find someone you really can learn from very easily, and then second, learn the fundamentals. If you have these two things set up, I'm here to tell you, you are the most teachable person, or more teachable than 99% of people who are just like, quickly, let's have the shortcut. I want to become tomorrow an expert. So maybe just a bit funny, but hope that makes sense and it's something that you're going to take away. I wish someone told me that. No one did. So I'm here to tell you. Okay. I'm also new to Amazon. I want to start my own Amazon PPC campaigns, how to do so. So first off, if you have not already created for you an advertising account, that is the first thing that you would be doing. You would create an advertising account for your brand, and that is the first way how you would start advertising on Amazon. Without it, it's not going to be possible for it to advertise. And no, you don't need anything special for that. Besides, you would need to connect it to Amazon ads are going to be deducted from your current net proceeds. In case that you did not generate any income, probably it's going to be wiser, or anyhow, it's going to be wiser to connect it to a credit card that already gives you back either reward points, either cashback rewards. We opt in for cashback rewards simply because then we can reuse that money for other purpose, but that would be it. So first off, create an account for yourself, and then second thing is going to be to connect it to a credit card. I'm just launching on Amazon. What is your PPC launch? What is your Amazon PPC launch strategy to get early traction? So I think your question is, how do you structure PPC-based launch on Amazon? Let's define what PPC launch means. PPC launch means that you're going to launch your product on Amazon and then you're going to generate traffic via PPC ads. So if you're going to do that, basically what is really important for you is to have a set of keywords that you're going to advertise for. That is really important. Second is going to be have a set of competitors that are similar to your product, yet to have an advantage. And here what you can do, you're going to just look up products that are coming up for a keyword that is highly relevant to your product. Giving you an example, whoever is going to run ads for purified water and they are showcasing within the first page of Amazon, those are your direct competitors. Now the second layer that you're going to do is, okay, is this a 500 milliliter bottles? Is this a 2,000 milliliter, so like a 2-liter bottle? Is it a water that has specific flavor? So is it a flavored water? Is it not flavored water? So that is going to be your next thing. Make sure that is exactly your product. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look up their listings and their price points and their shipping strategy. So if they are FBA or FBM, and also their pricing and any coupons that they might be running. And then you're just going to take a look at, okay, against of all these products, against which one would I have a competitive advantage? Probably at the beginning, you have zero competitive advantage when it comes down to reviews. So if a product has 10,000 reviews and your product has zero, but your product is maybe $2 cheaper, when you have zero reviews, believe it or not, we have data that shows that people might still be considering your product just because it's not a minus review, right? So we would use those type of listings whenever someone has a lot of reviews and we don't have any. So we are pure, the way I like to call it. Then we would advertise on their listing because we want to gain the traffic that they already got. So the additional eyeballs that they already are getting via Amazon ads or via organic ranking or so on. So we would still consider them as competitors against whom we still have an advantage just because we don't have a negative review. The moment that you would have one negative review, either 1 star, either below 4 stars, that is when reviews are going to matter. If you have products that are above 4 stars or that are under 4 stars within your category. Okay, we have 13 minutes more to go. I'm going to sip one more. In case I'm not seeing your question or something, just drop it again in the chat. Okay. Oh, very insightful question. So the question is, which PPC metrics should I look up when choosing keywords for a product launch? Very insightful question. I'm saying that it's insightful because usually people are not asking which PPC metrics matter most or they should look up when choosing products, but they are looking like what is the most relevant keyword. So what we're seeing for us when it comes down to product launch, technically you don't have PPC metrics for it. The only thing that might be available for you is via Amazon's suggested bid that is going to give you kind of like how much would this keyword cost. But again, that can be that can be not really reliable, because if you want to showcase your product and if you want to make sure that you're going to show up on top of search, for example, and your average bid is $1, you might need to bid $5 or even $10 to show up there. So I think the one metric that you should be looking up when it comes down to finding the right keyword is that, does the keyword has decent search volume? That is something that you would find if you're going to use a third-party tool such as Helium 10. That is something that can guarantee you eyeballs. So if something has more than 500 search volume, like if a keyword has more than 500 search volume, technically you are increasing your chances more to be visible for the product launch than a keyword that has 100 search volume. So that would be the one case that is right now, it's a PPC metric somehow, but it's not really a metric based on the data that you gathered. So that would be the first qualifier. Do I have enough search volume for this keyword? The next thing that you would do is, once that you're going to convert on the keyword, really, really important is that, first off, where do you convert, on which placement? So there are 3 placements. It is top of search, which basically is whenever someone would look up purified water, your product shows up within the first 4 or 5 placements. That is top of search. Product pages is going to be whenever someone would look up purified water, they're going to click on a different product, but then on the product page, they're going to find your product. That is the placement that you would show up on, and the rest of search is anywhere else besides those 2. So why I'm saying you this is because what we're seeing on our end is that usually for top of search, the click-through rate is going to be way higher than for the rest of search and for product pages. So what is going to be important here for you as metric is see which placement is the one that is guaranteeing you or it's showing that it's going to bring you sales at any level. Right now you're in product launch phase. I believe this is, for product launch. Right now you're in product launch phase. Only metric should be orders, not ACOS, nothing else. How many orders did you generated, and what is, do you actually produce any sales? Because if you're not even producing sales at this point, no matter what I'm going to tell you after this. So orders is the main thing that you're going to look up. Do I get orders? Do I get sale from the specific keyword? No matter in which placement do I show up. And the next thing that you would be looking up, say you have 2 different keywords. So we have the purify water and we have reverse osmosis water, and your product show up for both of them. Then you're going to look into which one has the highest click-through rate and also has the lower CPC, cost per click, because that way you can budget more for something that might have a high search volume and might be cheaper for you to advertise, and there you have a competitive advantage. So those would be the step-by-step processes that I would do in order to find out which metrics would matter most for product launch. What should I do when my Amazon PPC campaigns are running out of budget? Well, we would step back and understand what is causing it, running out of budget. Because it's running out of budget, it's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing, it is a neutral thing, and we have to identify the reason why. So the way how we're going to do that, we're just going to open up the campaign once that we see that the budget has been running out and understand what is causing the budget to run out. Is our CPC too high? So our cost per click, is it high? Let's say we have a $2 CPC, our daily budget is $10. That means that if within 5 clicks, our budget is out. So it might be that our CPC is too high, therefore our daily budget is limiting our performance. In that scenario, because we might not have enough data that is generated, we would be increasing the budget to at least $20 to $30 in order for us to generate clicks, because we need those clicks to see how many clicks do we need until we have a conversion, right? So that would be the very first thing that we would be doing. Now, Second thing, running out of budget. So that's the topic. Second, what you would be doing is, once that you did generate sales, you would be looking into, am I generating profitable sales or not profitable sales? Because that's also going to be one of the metrics that is going to make you question, what should be my next step? Should I optimize or should I pause a campaign? Really important, we would never pause a campaign that is generating us money unless it has only one order and it has lots of spend and we have data that shows us that campaign doesn't work. So before even optimizing, we would open up the campaign and see what is causing the budget to run out. Do we have relevant clicks? Great. That means that probably we are bidding correctly. But then the next thing it would be, okay, what is the placement that my product showed up? And then we're going to rule out if we are aiming for top of search, we're not showing on top of search, but product pages and rest of search, what would be the strategy next? So we're taking a judgment call there, right? But let's say that in this case, it's going to be the ideal scenario, which is you are going to advertise and then you are going to get clicks and then you are going to get orders and then your let's say break-even ACOS is 50% and your actual ACOS for those orders is 40%. So that means that your campaign is successful and it's limited by the budget. So we would increase the budget then. This is a good sign for us that we're running out of budget because it means that budget goes correctly as anticipated. And actually we should be increasing something that's already working really fine for us. So that would be there the step. Now, if you see that clicks are adding up, nothing is converting, you would look into what is causing the non-conversion. Is it irrelevant placements? Is it irrelevant search terms? Because based on that, you might be able to adjust certain placements where you want to show up. Or based on that, you can also look through your search term report and see, hey, we just created a campaign that's like, it was green, one of the keywords, and we added some broadified match and, hoping that Amazon still is going to showcase our product for something that is totally relevant for our category, just went nuts and showed for, for sweaters and so on. It's like, oh my gosh, like this did not work as expected. Let's quickly pause that keyword. But why I'm saying that is because sometimes even if things should work as expected, they won't, just because Amazon is also trying new things. And here in this case, again, a sweater was not relevant to a protein, like a protein shake, right? So that's why I'm saying that Amazon did show our product for protein shake, which is like, this is completely not relevant, but it was a green superfood, for example, So those are things that you would be ruling out just by opening up your search terms and seeing, hey, my product is being shown for things that are not relevant to my listing. So let me know if that helped. Guys, we have 4 more minutes. I think I'm going for one more question and I'm going to wrap up. Started early, so right now I can feel in my throat that this is it for me for the day. So the last question. Is it worth running PPC on low search volume keywords or is it a waste? Let me answer that by, it depends on when it is a waste and when is it worth it. It's going to worth it for you if those low search volume keywords are cheap, like they have a low CPC and they still convert and they're still generating maybe 2-3 sales a month, but they make sense for you. It's not worth it for you to run PPC for low search volume keywords the moment that those low search volume keywords cost you $15, it's 100 search volume, you're barely converting on them, and you could also use the same budget to test on a high search volume keyword. So that's the way how I would look at it. At the beginning, when we started ads, I was like, yes, go for long tail keywords because they are helpful and they are evidently low search volumes. Not really, and not especially not now in 2025. What I'm seeing is that it's really highly dependent on how well are you converting on those keywords, because those keywords can also get expensive. So if you are targeting a low search volume keyword that is maybe even the same CPC as a high search volume keyword, I would rather go for the high search volume keywords. Let me know if that answered the question. Right, and that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. Apologies if I missed anyone's questions. I'm going to go through the chat again to make sure that no questions were missed, and in case that we did, I'm going to edit for the next session. Thank you so much for watching. Happy holidays for you. If you're watching this right now live here with me, want to say Merry Christmas to you. In 2 days is going to be Christmas, so I wish you and your loved ones all the best. Happy holidays, and see you next week when we're going to be back for one more hour of this Amazon PPC AMA session. Take care. Bye.